everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Spirit Seers Cocktail Corner. Today I have for you another pre-prohibition classic, the Sazerac. This cocktail goes way back. According to legend, it was invented in New Orleans in the 1830s, and some reports have it dating back even closer to 1800. Originally, this cocktail was supposedly made with all French brandy, as that was kind of the standard for distilled spirits at the time. However, as it became more and more accepted, we, as we tend to do, Americanized it with our favorite spirit of the time, rye whiskey, which goes really well in this drink. The other key ingredient is Peychaud's bitters. This was invented by a pharmacist, Antoine Peychaud, in New Orleans, and it's a big shot of gentian root, and it just finds itself right at home in this cocktail. So, without further ado, let's get started. We'll need a stirring glass, as this is a stirred cocktail, and a rocks glass. To prepare our rocks glass, we're just going to do an absinthe rinse. To do this, you can either use an atomizer, or if you're like me, you just pour a tiny bit of your absinthe into the glass. As always, we're using Holy Stone Distilling's absinthe, not just because it's local, but also because it's delicious. So I'm just taking the absinthe and I'm just coating the inside of the glass. Now, if you've measured correctly, there won't be enough absinthe to speak of left over from doing this to really sit in the bottom of the glass. If there is, you can always dump it out or drink it. We tend not to dump things out here, but it looks like I've measured correctly and there's nothing for me to pour out, so we'll set that to the side and keep going. So now that we've prepared our glass, we're going to set that aside, and we're going to take a sugar cube, or in our case, a lump of Demerara sugar, a couple of them probably, they're a little small, and we're going to put some bitters on those, 2 dashes of Angostura. I'm using a Japanese dasher, so really 2 dashes is like 1 from your standard bottle, and then 3 dashes, pardon me, of Peychaud's bitters, just to saturate those sugar cubes, and then we're going to go ahead and muddle those. Muddling sugar, really all we're doing is crushing it. Now you could also put about a half a teaspoon of cold water in that mixing glass, but half a teaspoon is like 2.5 mils, and I find that to be really negligible compared to what we've got going on in this drink. So now we're going to add our rye whiskey, 1.25 ounces of rye whiskey. I like to use Sugar House Rye. They're a local distillery in Salt Lake. They do everything grain to glass. I know a lot of people, when they think Salt Lake City and whiskey, they immediately think High West. Now, High West is good, don't get me wrong, but I prefer Sugar House. It tends to be spicier, and I feel like bang for your buck, it's a much better value. So, I should also note that they're not sponsoring this video. This is my opinion. But really, I can't recommend it enough. This is probably my favorite product to come out of Sugar House Distillery. Now our recipe calls for 1.25 ounces of cognac. I'm more of an Armagnac guy, and the difference, isn't super pronounced. Armagnac tends to be a little more whiskey-ish than cognac, and so I think it'll match up well with our Sugar House Rye. So we're going to go ahead and add ice to our stirring glass here. And we're going to go ahead and give that a stir. We'll strain that into our prepared absinthe rinse glass. Now, you could do this over like a large rock or on the rocks. Personally, I just prefer a nice chilled rocks glass like this one, just so that it doesn't continue to dilute in my glass. So let's see what it tastes like. That is really good. I realize now though that I did forget one thing, so let's just throw a lemon peel in here. You'd be surprised how much difference that really makes. So we're just going to express that lemon over the drink, kind of give it a rub around the outside, and we'll plunk it in there. And that's what it was missing, that nice lemon nose, but with hints of the anise and the spices from the rye, and the peychaud's really comes through as well. Yeah, that's much more what I would expect. This is one of those drinks that you really have to take your time with. It's hard to sit down and just, throw back a Sazerac, which isn't a bad thing, really. It gives you time to appreciate it because it has a lot going on. We've got the nice spiciness from the rye whiskey. We get kind of those subtle raisin and date notes from our Armagnac. And peychaud's has a very distinctive flavor too, if you've ever tried it. And you can definitely taste it in the drink. And it also is kind of what gives it that signature reddish color. The absinthe is kind of that last lingering note, just that earthy base that kind of brings things down after you've swallowed it, and then you start to get those hints of anise. It's a classic for a reason, and it's kind of always been associated with New Orleans, and it has become one of those quintessential American cocktails. So if you decide to make one yourself, let us know in the comments what you did and how you liked it. If you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, please do so. We'd love to see you back, and we have tons of great content out there for you to watch, and we have plenty of awesome things planned just around the corner. There's a link to our Teespring down below, and as well as our affiliate link to Surfside Sips, where you can get 20% off your order with our discount code, also down in the description. And you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That graphic is usually somewhere right around here. Anyway, until next time, keep the spirits, and we'll see you around.